won't come out of the closet. Tom Cruise might himself in my closet. Just come out.
Mr. Cruz, come out of the closet.
No.
Come on, ridiculous. Mr. Cruz, you can't just stay in the closet. All right, you need to come out now.
What's going on?
Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet. Well, we can't leave you alone because you won't come out of the closet. It's been 4 hours now, and Tom Cruise still will not come out of the closet. Hundreds of onlookers have gathered here in hopes that the celebrity will finally give in. Tom Cruise, please come out of the closet. Everybody here just wants you to come out of the closet. Nobody's gonna be mad. Everything's gonna be alright. We're still not exactly sure why Tom Cruise is in the closet, but I'm being joined now by famous singer-songwriter R. Kelly.
I was just sitting here. Tom Cruise locked himself in the closet. Ask myself, why won't Tom Cruise just come out the closet? Nobody has no answers. And so I pull out my gun. Everybody Tom Cruise in the closet, or else I'm gonna shoot someone. I just wish I could write my room, but Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet. Tom, it's Nicole. Tom, don't you think this has gone on long enough? It's time for you to come out of the closet.
I'm not in the closet.
Yes, you are, Tom. And you need to just end this and come out. I'm not going to think any differently of you. Katie's not going to think any differently of you. You don't need to be in that closet anymore, Tom.
I'm not in here.
Yes, you are.
I'm not in the closet.
Tom, you can't hide forever. Come out of the closet, Tom. You're not fooling anyone.
But I'm not here.
Charlie, you gotta come out. Oh my God. Okay, so like, if you don't come out, can I at least come in and talk to you?
Okay, but no trick.
No shit. Man, it's good, man.
Yeah, Hello? Hey, come out of there! Tom, it now appears that John Travolta is also in the closet, and he refuses to come out. Here with more details once again is R. Kelly.
I was just standing here. Tom Cruise locked himself in the closet. Then John Travolta come out. John Travolta in the closet. Please, Tom Cruise and John Travolta come out of the closet. I calm myself down. And I pull out my gun. Tom Cruise and John Travolta come out of the closet. I'm gonna cap it.
We've just had an incredible development here, Mitch. Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and R. Kelly have all come out of the closet. We've just had an incredible development here, Mitch. Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and R. Kelly have all come out of the closet.
I was just standing here. Tom Cruise locked himself in the closet. Ask myself, why won't Tom Cruise just come out the closet? Nobody has no answers. And so I pull out my gun. Tell me what Tom Cruise in the closet, or else I'm gonna shoot someone.
Don't be damned. Don't be damned. Moron.
Tango, apocalyptical.
They actually took all this footage during COVID because there's nobody on the streets. And so they were able to actually shoot this whole music video for free. They spent no money on this music video because of what happened during like all these drone footage was all taken for free. So they did all this because there's nobody on the streets. We'll say hello to the side chat right quick. Hey, Sydney. Hey, Ox.
Go on, moron, ignore the evidence.
Ignore the evidence. Hey, sisters. You have Gavin. If you want to come in, message somebody in Discord, and we'll give you a link if you want to come in and join us. Please do. Anybody who wants to join us, just ask for the link from somebody and we'll get you it. Hey, Harry. We got Doorknob Head. And yes. And Demon Orb. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're talking about like tattoos and ink and other things like that tonight. So we'll have fun with that. Bam. Don't be damned. Too late. And normally we go right to like a gazillion this is too late. He rode all through city. His title is just that. What is it? A roll of motherfucking toilet paper. That's all. He wrote through the shit. All right. Thank y'all very much for being here and spending your time with my punk ass. If I wasn't doing all of this stuff with all of you, I would just be sitting here bored by myself, trying to put things up my butt or something like that. I don't know. So thank you all for being here and everybody joining us today. We're having a slow filter of people coming in to join us, but that's okay. Before I get into that, we'll do this as one of our intros.
Wait a second. Are you a flat earther?
Yes, we all love Bob's Burgers. So bringing in our first and only guest as of right now. I don't know where the rest of the stream pervs are. It seems like they're playing what's it called? Stick It in Your Left for Dead. So maybe they will all filter in here soon. If not, it's okay. Me and this guest will definitely chug through. And the reason I do these things is because I'd be sitting here by myself doing nothing if I didn't have all of you, or I wasn't doing these streams. So I just do these things to help facilitate the time in between me doing shows and working and doing other things until I get to Queen. So bringing in our first guest.
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
And there's our brainless doing a lot of talking with no brain. So how are you doing?
I'm okay now. I had the stupid idea of watching something on Netflix that's called If Anything Happens, I Love You. It's a short. There's no people in it. There's not one word said. But it's about parents that lost their kid in a school shooting. So it's just under 13 minutes. But oh, fuck, I think it was falling down. So yeah, but I'm good now.
Okay. Hopefully we'll make it a lot more.
I do have to say, I think that's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Just because it was so simple and it just hit so fucking hard.
Well,
yeah.
Interesting. I'll definitely have to check that out. That's a very not fun subject.
But don't watch it when you're in a bad space because it'll fucking hit you fucking hard.
Well, I was watching the Daryl Brooks closing or the whatever's earlier too, and that was making me get so anyways, that's another reason why I decided to do the subjects we're doing tonight, which if you have not voted in the poll, please vote, is just about body modifications, ancient to new, and different forms of them. And so that's what we're doing tonight.
I went for ancient shit.
Yeah, the ancient one is definitely interesting.
Well,
yeah, it's definitely
all sounds interesting. But and like, come on, we're talking about it with Slim, so it's gonna be interesting.
Exactly. The Queen will be here in a little while. She is doing something with her mother right now. And then they should be here, and hopefully a couple other people join us after they get done playing the game. And I understand being in the middle of like a session in a game, and if they whatever, if y'all get,
you know what time Slim's on. I even told them I'm gonna take a nap because Slim's gonna be on later.
Yeah, and I sent them all links. And if there's anybody who wants a link that has not got sent one, let us know and we'll send you a link. I may even be bold enough to just post it in the side chat in a minute or two or whatever. So right now we have Ancient Ink is 62% and other things are other things. So right now we're at Ancient Ink. So let's get to what is today. What are the things of the day? And then we'll get to that because I'm hoping that Queen will jump in by then, and maybe a couple other people that like are modified or have had tattoos or piercings, so they can put their 2 cents in on these things because that's why we
just
have people
one vanilla
on.
guest.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do top news. I wanted to do daily listings. Here we go. So American Enterprise Day. Oh my God. Sometimes I should vet these
Isn't
things
that
first. But
every
anyways,
day?
yeah, well, pretty much. America Recycles Day, Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day, Day of the Imprisoned Writer. Let's see what this is. They don't have any kind of information about it at all.
No, but it's quite often that there is a writer that is suppressed in a certain country and that they get imprisoned. And so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Good
totally
think
get the
about that every now
concept
and
of it.
then.
I just thought maybe
Because
there
like
was a little bit more.
we info, yeah.
I thought maybe it was like a little bit more specific to a certain time period or a certain thing that happened. But yes, we definitely need to like help the media people that get imprisoned wrongly for things. Definitely. So George Spelvin Day is the next one. I Love to Write Day, Little Red Wagon Day, National Bunt Day, National Entrepreneurs Day, National Philanthropy Day, National Raisin Bran Cereal Day, National Hot Hermit Cookie Day. Oh, sorry. National Spicy Hermit Cookie Day. And I really want to know exactly, I think I know what that is, but I'm not 100% sure. So it is popular in the US and Canada. It is simply known as a hermit cookie. A soft and chewy cookie made with brown sugar and raisins is flavored with salt and spices like nutmeg, cinnamon, clover, and allspice. They often include nuts, and in Canada, they are also commonly made with dates. And they're usually cut into squares. Okay. How many people have had any of these? Because I'm not sure that they look kind of familiar, but I'm not sure I've had one of them specifically. Okay, I'm not sure. They must be a little bit
They
more.
looked okay until you mentioned that they were squishy.
Yeah.
Back your mom's lunch day.
I'm used to being in Southern California and Colorado, so that must not be around there as much. Doorknob Head said that they have tried it. Is it good? Well, I want to ask like what kind of palette is it? Oh, if you've ever had Spicy Hermit. Okay, that's what they would call it, right? Okay. So if anybody else has had it, let us know. I'm interested in like how savory it is to sweet.
I know a spicy hermit. Oh.
There we have a Schizma Crasher. Oh, hold on. I got to do this.
Hey, there's the
hold
asshole.
on. Yeah, but hold on. I have to do this.
Well,
there we go.
If you would have watched Glover Mom's,
I just realized that I don't have audio, so
video,
we can. Okay, we can hear you. What did Glober Mom do?
Oh, that like she had one of her TikTok videos, and there was actually one where it was a baby that was similar to this.
Oh, jeez.
I thought that was that would have been Skits as a baby
Maybe.
running into a door.
Nice.
Glass
I'll have
door.
to check that out later. If it was from today, I wasn't able to watch that one because I was driving and
Yeah.
other things. So yeah. Then
Shit happens.
you can hear us now, Marooney. Okay, he'll be right back. Anyways, pack your mom's lunch day. So if you're a child and you pack your mom's lunch, make sure it's full of like a bunch of sweets and nothing that is good for her. No, I'm just kidding. The next one is Steve Irwin Day. So everybody tip your hats to Steve Irwin and RIP him. Everybody take a drink for Steve Irwin. He was a wonderful animalitarian. I don't know the right word exactly off the top of my head for being an animalist. He
was
definitely
completely
helped.
crazy. He was completely
Yes,
crazy.
but he did.
Like
He did help naturalism or nature and
Yeah.
things like that very, very much. He brought
And he loved what he did.
recognition. Yeah, and he brought recognition to species that most people would want to be killing, and brought them empathy to those animals so that they were more thoughtful to them and didn't just like kill rattlesnakes right off the bat, or when they saw an alligator. We have to coexist with our habitats that we're pushing ourselves into, like the mountains or the swamp or other places. You got to remember, we have to live with the other species that are already here. We can't just kill them off and say, now I live here because we're human. The ecosystem doesn't work correctly if we keep killing off the animals that are
much better
living in those areas, right? So that's why I believe that this is wonderful.
No,
and
definitely.
what Steve Irwin did was amazing about showing us the lives and lifestyles of all of these animals that we perceived to be very, very dangerous. And they are to some extent. But remember, we are encroaching into their territory. It's not their fault that we are living in their area. They deserve to eat the shit out of us if we try to live in fucking the middle of Africa or in swampland or something, right? I mean, if you get bit by a poisonous snake and living in the swamp, what do you think is going to happen, dumbass?
Fair.
If I go walk up into the Rocky Mountains right now and I get eaten by a mountain lion or a bear, yeah, no, I deserved it. I went into their place of fucking where they hunt. I mean, it's my fucking fault, right? So you have to understand that concept, and that's why I think the Steve Irwin Day is so important. And unfortunately for him, he went into a stingray's territory, and it showed him who was boss, and that is nature. But he was able to teach us so many things before that, and his kids and his wife are doing so many amazing things in the Australias that are helping propagate the wildlife and making it safer and giving refuge to animals that are either hurt or displaced and wouldn't have a place other to go to other than being unalived in Minecraft. Right. Okay. So now that we've gotten to that, I was hoping Queen would be here by now and or a couple other people, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and get into our subjects. So we'll stop sharing this. And like I always say, I'm sorry you all have to see me this large in a screen. But anyways, I'm going to yes, Vogue. I'm going to give us. Have you seen what Madonna looks like recently?
No.
Oh, my cheese and rice, dude. She's been doing a lot of social media stuff recently and being like kind of controversial. And her look is insane. And now she's trying to say she's unisexual or she's not. I don't know. I don't know. I may be saying that a little bit wrong. But now she's claiming that her gender may not be 100% female. And I don't know. Maybe it's the botched surgeries that she was going through, but like everybody go look up what Madonna looks like now. And I love her. She made amazing music. She made the 80s what it was, right? The music industry in the 80s. And I guess maybe the early 90s. I know in 2001 or something she came up with that cowboy album or whatever, Riding the Horse, or I don't remember what it was, but I have it on record, and it's like the cowboy song she came up with, like have like 4 different versions of it on there. Yeah, and totally doorknob head. That's exactly what happened. The real problem that she's having right now is she had too much nip and tuck, but now she's like gained a little bit of weight on top of the plastic surgery. And again, we all love Madonna. All of us in the GBTL LMNOP LMNOZ scene, all of us, we obviously love Madonna. She made the gay clubs work. You know what I'm saying? Like the music in the gay clubs happened because of Madonna, definitely. So, I'm not trying to put her down. Just her look now is she's got, I think, little too many things going on, and I don't think it's her fault. I think it's just the way that plastic surgery is gone, and her being able to not be a junkie anymore, and so she's gained a little bit of weight. I think that's really what it is. She stopped doing all the hard drugs. Hey, maybe she didn't. I don't know. I mean, I'll do a line of cocaine with Madonna any day. But anyways, so it looks like the Ancient Ink is going to be our first one we're going to go through. Then Harvesting Tattoos and Ear Removal, and then Patchwork Ink. So we'll go ahead and stop this. If somebody will write that down.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you hear my chair squeaking?
No, we do not hear your chair squeaking. Do you fucking fix it somehow?
I got some advice from Brainy Beaver, and there's some RTX NVIDIA. It goes through the GPU and uses AI to pull out only human voices. So now I can squeak, I can clap, and it's just here's my voice.
Oh shit, that's fucking awesome.
It's really cool. Like the demonstration with this dude was like talking, and he had like a leaf blower blowing next to him, and he couldn't hear himself talking, but all you could hear was the voice. So
that's fucking crazy. That's awesome. I'm AI is turning into some crazy ass shit, which I'm like amazed by, and I'm so glad that we have.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, so tattoos found on ancient Egyptian women appear to ask for protection during childbirth.
Oh, okay.
Oh crap! I forgot. Hold on, I have to do this way. They didn't download that yet. Just give me 1 second. I'll have it.
Borgs.
Yeah, I know. And I do have a glitch in my systems that I haven't 100% fixed. They have not made an update for it yet, and so I have to just wait it out for like a couple more years until they figure
I see
that
a brainless in the corner.
Yeah. But Slim, can't you? All right. Can't you just time travel to the period where they do have the update?
No, because I have my broken time machine. My time machine's broken. I can't.
And these updates too.
Yeah, no. So there's thingies for the mabobbers and. And the other thing is, there's other glitches because I don't know the technologies y'all use because we're in the future. So I have to use these old technologies that don't make sense to me because you guys are dumb. And never mind.
You guys are dumb.
So a pair of researchers.
That's why I call myself brainless.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
So a pair of researchers, one with the University of Missouri at St. Louis and the other at Johns Hopkins University, have found evidence of tattoos in the bodies of women who lived in Egypt thousands of years ago. In their paper published in the Journal of Egyptian Archaeology, Marie Leiss Arnett and Anne Austin describe the tattoos and outlines their ideas regarding why women had them. So back in the early 1920s, archaeologists discovered an ancient town called, I'm going to butcher it for the fuck of it. Sorry if I butcher it, but I know I am. Called Deir el Medina, near the Nile River in Egypt. Prior to the research has shown the town was active over the years of 1550 to 1070 BC. So that would be about 500 years, 400 years or something like that, and served as a community to the House the Men. Wait. I'm going to reread that just because I feel like I read that wrong, even though I know I read it right. But I'm going to say it again. And served as a community to the House the Men and their families. I think there is a something wrong with that. I don't think it was edited properly. But anyways, who are building tombs for the Egyptian royalty. Over the years, researchers have found that the town was neatly planned with even streets and homes for the people that live there.
Oh yeah, I've seen
In
stuff
this
about
new
that.
effort, the researchers were studying mummies found in the town when they came across evidence of tattoos. The researchers were studying 2 female mummies removed from 2 tombs in the village. One of them had been looted and the mummy unwrapped.
Oh.
Guns.
I hope she wasn't violated. I hope she was just looted. In the studying of the mummified
Oh
skin.
my.
Yeah. The
Extreme
researcher.
necrophilia.
Oh, come on. Don't put that in my head.
Well, hey, I had to think of it, so I had to share that with all of you. Because what happens usually when people take over a city is they pillage and beep.
Oh,
Anyways.
yeah,
So
but this
anyways.
was just opening up tombs. Well, just opening up tombs, but like, yeah, you're Slim. You're not gonna be if you come across a mummy. You're not gonna be fucking it. Trust me.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. If I throw on a sheepskin condom, you never know. Anyways, they were able to make out representations of a bull, a purification ritual, and a depiction of Bes, an Egyptian god whose role was to protect women and children, most especially during childbirth. So they saw symbology of this Egyptian god around these people. It'll get a little bit more into what we're talking about in just a second. The second mummy, still wrapped, was studied using infrared photography. They do not, any archaeologists no longer unwrap mummies. So what they'll do is they'll still keep them in whatever containment unit they find them in. If it opens and closes, they'll take them out of that, but they won't unwrap them, or they won't change how they found them, because now we can do infrared, we can do ultra red, we can do blah blah. There's so many different ways that we can
so many reds.
There's some, definitely.
And then we're not even talking about the race.
yeah, exactly. We can eczema rays, we can zema rays, we can all different types of arrays as well. So there's so many ways that we can look inside of things without taking them apart anymore and judging their depth, their thickness, what they are, bone, muscle, whatever. So now, like they were saying, they don't have to unwrap them anymore. So it turned out to be the remains of a middle-aged woman with another tattoo. Ooh. Oh, so this tattoo showed a, I'm gonna butcher the crap out of it just because I so okay. a wedjet, the eye of Horus, and Bes. And I think I'm saying that wrong because I think it's Beast, but my brain wants to say Bess. And so hopefully one of the ways I'm saying that correctly, and most likely I'm not pronouncing it even close to it right, but that doesn't matter. I'm trying. They're people's and other beings from this time in the past and the future. I'm trying. This time wearing a crown made of feathers. Okay, so it had a crown of feathers. It also had a zigzag line beneath the other figures, which likely represents a marsh. Because remember, back in the day, they represented things with symbols because we didn't have a language, or there weren't an alphabet yet. So there's just symbology behind it, just like the Native Americans would have done, and or other ancient cultures, right? There, a certain pattern represented something like a marsh, where people of the time would go to cool themselves and at times to ease pain, such as they would be felt during childbirth, which, yes, that's very painful. I don't know personally because I cannot do that. But from what I've heard from all of the people that have had it, they would punch me in the throat if I didn't say that it hurt. So
in the throat.
Yeah, totally. Karate chop me right into the throat. So
and then in the balls.
And
the balls.
Totally, and then no balls, then taint. It would be the hook from the balls to taint. Anyways,
and then they'll rip your balls off.
And that too. I was hoping that we would have people of the female persuasion on here during us talking about that, but that didn't happen exactly like I wanted. Just like it doesn't seem to happen for other things, but that's okay.
Time for Brandless to tuck. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So the researchers suggest the two tattoos appear to represent a request by those bearing them for protection during childbirth. So what they have done is they found things that correlate to childbirth and the protection of them and or the process, and they saw those symbologies tattooed on these people. And it's not this one, because this one is the throat. I did have one about and I will show this in just a minute if I can find it, and I will find it, but about women having tramp stamps. So here we go. So the researchers note that the clay figurines also found at the site depicting tattoos on the lower back and upper thighs of women, having the image of this childbearing god. So okay, it's not here. Let me find this right quick, because I did find a thing about tramp stamps, and I hope I didn't accidentally delete it, because I was trying to do a bunch of things at once and I kind of screwed up a couple of things. But there are son of a beach. I may have. There was a study of tramp stamps that were done because they believed it was for childbirth. Let me
skits.
Let me. It's totally his fault. Let me just really quick try to double check here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So give me just a millisecond and we'll go straight into the same thing we were just talking about, ancient tattoos, because that's why we're talking about this. And let me go to this place and then paste, and it will find me exactly what I was looking for.
Question, Slim.
Sure.
How many shots are in those little bottles of yours?
I think it's technically 2, but I usually do 3 or 4 for every 5.
Just curious.
But when I was trying to make a Bloody Mary the other day, I poured one in and it took up half the fucking pint glass, and I was like, I think that's a little bit more than I thought it was. So okay, so I think this is the one about what I was just speaking of, and I hate fucking bling. Why does that always go to bling? I'm on Google and somehow it blings me.
Yeah. Well, there's a triple coming at you.
Well, thank you very much.
I was trying to Instacart some whiskey, so it'll be here shortly.
Awesome. I was hoping that the queen would be here so we could describe on what's going on a little bit more with her living situation. So we're almost there, getting her somewhere and then getting here. So in the near future, you'll see us together and stuff like that. We've almost got it figured out. Okay, so yeah, you'll definitely if you pay her the OnlyFans, you'll see me stuffing her things. That's definitely a thing that's happening.
I still want to see the nude Bible reading.
Yes, and then we will do that because so one of the things that we figured out with the OnlyFans is they really don't want sex happening on there. They want suggestive crap. You know what I'm saying? And so like if we can play like Dungeons and Dragons nude or do strip poker or do things like that, then I believe we can.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if I roll a 16, I was supposed to roll a 69, you know, then I'll have to so we're trying to get more at that. Okay, so now I found the thing. Yes, exactly. Giggity giggity. So here are the tramp stamp tattoos originated in ancient Egypt. And these are going along exactly the same thing with what we were just talking about. So thank you, Skits. I have this. I'm gonna do this right quick on stream. Thank you. I definitely needed this yesterday when we were talking about all the stupid religious crap. But thank you for this. Oh my god, I can't believe what we had to go over yesterday. It was so hilariously stupid.
Not bad. Huh?
And I really would love, you know what I need to do? I needed to have gone into their comment section and I needed to post a thing saying, what is your time limit to when this is supposed to happen? You know, like prove to me that you actually know, you know, like God is talking to you or you're seeing these signs. Well, give me a time limit. And then the day after that happens, like I'll put it in one of my Google calendars or something. The day after that happens, come back and be like, yep, we're still here, bitch. You know, like all right, cheers, bro. Salute, all of the above. Bad vodka. Bad vodka. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video right quick about these tattoos that they found, and then we'll go over the article. Cheese and rice. Throughout history, childbirth is highly dangerous. One thought that the birth of the mother, midwives may have gotten tattoos on their bodies. So these are so see, if you look at the body, you can't really see them. So when they did like X-rays and other infrared-y things, they could see the tattoos on them. So this would have been on their backside. So there was the video version of that, but we'll talk about if it goes back. Oh, here we go. Okay. Whoa, that's a lot of weird stuff going on in the page. What the fuck is going on?
My.
Hey, what is
Hello, New York Post.
Bouncer has sex with naked woman in nightclub as patrons cheer them on. Okay, well, we'll have to go over that
supposed
later.
to get that link.
Yeah. What the hell? I just got dropped off.
My God, man.
Some shit. Okay, here's what we were talking about.
And there goes the link again.
So what we'll be talking about next week is, and I'm just.
You guys did, by the way, you guys did notice when you got taken down earlier, right?
Did we get taken down today?
Yeah. During your intro music video, it got shut down about halfway through.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it came back about midway. Brainless talking about something.
Oh shit! Okay. I'll have to go back and look at what that exactly was.
Sidechat! Why did you not notify us?
Everybody kind of did. They're like, we're back, and like we just assumed that you knew.
Okay, I did not see. And we're back. Okay. Getting spanked okay. I see now kind of where that happened.
I guess we
Okay,
should have just
well,
overtly told you. Sorry.
it's okay. We'll figure that out later. Okay.
We're not that vain that we're also watching the stream. Oh wait, let's turn close.
So, the so-called tramp stamp isn't a sign of trashiness. It's early woman's tradition. A recent discovery has led researchers to believe that ancient Egyptian women were adorned with lower back tattoos to protect themselves and others during childbirth. The hypothesis comes after experts from the University of Missouri and Johns Hopkins University explained the mummified remains of two women with inked backsides. So these are the two same women we were talking about earlier. Just now, we're going to a little bit more details on some of their other tattoos. According to the study authors, their power derives from sympathetic magic.
Okay.
Activated only when all of the women involved during childbirth bore the similar tattoos. One possibly is that these motifs were not worn by all women, but only by those who would be involved in birth-giving process, being midwives and or women partaking in rituals related to childbirth. The research suggests the remains were discovered at Deir el Medina, a site located at the west bank of the Nile, across from the river of the modern-day Luxor. The site is known to have been an ancient Egyptian workman village, which was home to the artisans who worked on the tombs of the Valley of the Kings between the 18th and 20th dynasties of the New Kingdom of Egypt. UMSL's Ann Austin and John Hopkins, Marie Lice Arnett, whose work was published in the Journal of Egyptian Archaeology, believe there would be a link to the deity Hathor, who ruled over love, beauty, reverently, fertility, and pleasure. The hypothesis is supported by the fact that the previous tattoos found at the place were linked with Hathor. That is to say that these women might have been related to the cult of the goddess and or with the Hathoric rituals in general. Studies note. Historically, childbirth has been a highly dangerous and often deadly endeavor, which was inspired an array of myths and spells around the world to protect pregnant mothers. One can also imagine that the figurines show representations of tattoos would be especially linked with childbirth. That is to say that they would have been used during the event. For example, thanks to their small size, the figurines could have been held in hand by the women in labor or by the midwives when performing rituals, researchers note. So the lower back tattoos were popularized in Western culture in the early female celebrities, including Britney Spears, I think I'm saying that kind of wrong. Nikki Ricci and Lindsay Lohan. And there was a study in the artwork referring to tramp stamps becoming unfairly associated with promiscuity by the Y2K trends resurfacing in that placement on the body. But it makes sense why they would put them on the back portion of the hips for this, because that is where the probably pain would be coming from, maybe. So it'd either be the front or the back part of the hips, right? And I'm sure that there was so I have heard all kinds of things about things happening to their backsides during the eviction of the womb with a baby. So I can understand that. You're very welcome, doorknob head. So here we go. What was the next one, Brainless?
The next one was harvesting tattoos with 25%.
Okay, harvesting tattoos.
That sounds a bit weird. But then again, this is one of Slim's streams, so
What do we
Yes.
expect?
So you definitely know it's going to be
weird is
about
not weird.
crazies. Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of
And if
signed
I
up for
don't,
this.
and if I don't freak you all out doing this, then I am not doing my job. So we had semi talked about this.
Oh yes, oh that, yeah.
And maybe not on streams yet. I'm not 100% sure, but we did talk about this in the VC. So there is a company that, if in your will your loved ones ask to be preserved or have their tattoos taken, there is a mortuary service that will now do this for you. Turning bodies into art. So what they did with this gentleman is they cut off his skin and they preserved it. So
it's weird,
a bit
but
morbid for me.
I kind of get it. Like, also, like, if you look at that, like, that's a couple of thousand that went into that.
That's true.
And
that
it is art.
That is $20,000 to $40,000 worth of artwork on that body.
Yeah, so and it is art.
So why let it get buried into the dirt?
Yeah,
when what you can do is you can freak out all your family members by giving them a piece of your fucking body. That's what I want to do to all my fucking dad's side of the family that fucking disown me for being modified. I want to give them a fucking tattoo, and they have to have it because it's put in my fucking will. Here, take. I want it to be framed, and I want to have it so it's like, no, you have to fucking take it. If not, what are you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? I'm being a dick.
That's be a surprise too. They open it up and like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, what is that?
They come to the will. They come to the will reading, right? Or I guess it could be shipped to them, but it say they come to the will reading, which doesn't make any sense because nobody knows the fuck I am. I'm like the fucking bottom of the barrel in our families. Anyways, but say they did come to the fucking reading of the will, and they're just all these boxes that are just like set up, and the lawyer is just like, here's your box, here's your box. They open it up, and it's just a fucking weird ass tattoo that I have. They have no idea what the fuck it means or what anything. But what are they gonna do with it? Like, are you gonna if somebody gave you fucking part of their body, are you really gonna throw it away?
For real.
You know, you're going to keep it because you think it's like morbid or there's some kind of like attachment to some. I don't know.
Gotta be
I just think it would be great to do this. So in the country right now, in the Americas, there's 3 different places that are doing this. So let's read on to why this became a thing and how it became a thing. After a fatal boating accident in 2019, Jonathan Gill was told he wasn't to be able to see the body of his twin brother before he was cremated unless he could identify him by his tattoos. Morticians told him that the body was too waterlogged and in no condition to be displayed for the wake. When Gill reached out to Thomas Boyland, the director of the funeral home by that gentleman's name in Queens, New York, it was Boyland who told him about the commercial business that gives family members an alternative way to memorialize deceased relatives by harvesting tattooed skin from their dead bodies and preserving it forever. Gill's brother had several tattoos, and the Boyland was able to piece back together 2 of them and send them to the lab in Ohio. they would be preserved by Save My Ink Forever, a postmortem tattoo service that turns recovered body ink into fine art collectibles. After the work was done, the funeral director delivered the framed tattoos to Gil and his mother in person. So they will actually like put it into frames and dry it out properly and do everything they need to do to make it a living piece of artwork forever.
Interesting.
Everything kind of came rushing back, but in a weird way, it was comforting. Gil told Motherboard. That's who's doing the interview for Vice for them right now. In a weird way, he had him back. We had a piece of him back that we'd remember of him. So they remembered his tattoos. The prosperity process developed by Save My Ink Forever permanently alters the chemical structure of the skin in a way that preserves the ink and prevents the skin from decomposing. The company works with a private funeral home or homes in 21 US states and has expanded into Canada and the UK to obtain authorization from the family. Following next of kin direct chain links in accordance with state specific funeral laws, because there's a lot of funeral laws, like doing things to body can be considered desecration of a body or whatever really, really easily if you don't do certain things.
I mean, just possessing like
Body
the
parts.
remains of the
Yeah.
just the ashes, you have to have a certificate and a permit and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And God help you if you want to spread them somewhere.
Yeah. And I read a thing today that some woman got in trouble for having a butt plug up her butt with her friend's ashes in it because she didn't have the proper paperwork to have the ashes or something. And they were going to make it a whole different thing because it was inside of her. We'll go over that in the near future. Like, it's a whole thing.
That sounds like a
talk-
story.
Would that be
It-
necrophilia?
I
it-
guess.
it was considered something weird illegally, and that's why she may be fined for it. But dude, if you want to fucking take your friend's ashes and put them in a butt plug and stick them up your ass, you fucking deserve to be able to do that.
More power to you.
Yeah. But anyways, so this means
Still weird.
Yeah. Well, of course, but everything we do is weird. I mean, who is normal out of anybody who's watching this or anybody who's involved in our streams? So this means more than just a church service. So what they did is they framed his tattoos. So these are images of the tattoos that they framed from him. And so this is one of the ways they frame the tattoos. Clients describe the area where the tattoo is located and what it looks like. Then a licensed mortician exercises the tissue around the tattoo and sends it to Save My Ink Forever Ohio lab, where Sherwood goes to work in a process that takes about 3 months. Sherwood will touch it up and enhance the work, doing the best to return the tattoos to its original state. The family's gratitude when they receive the pieces that they're like, oh my God, I feel like they're here again. Or I saw the tattoo every single day and now I have a piece of that person with me. Sherwood explains, look, people take ashes and turn them into diamonds. In the Victoria era, they cut their hair and made hair necklaces and or hair art out of it. So it's not much different. Just using the person's body parts as a remembrance of them in some way, shape, or form turned into art. Some legal experts, however, say the practice sits in a particularly murky area of the law only because in the Americas they've made it very, very strict in the law, and it's very, very weird for you to have some of your loved one with you, even as ashes. It's very weird. Funeral law expert Tanya Marsh is the vice dean of the Wake Forest University School of Law and author of The Law of Human Remains, the first treatise. How would I say that properly? on the subject in 50 plus years, based on Marsh's interpretation of the funeral laws. She believes Save the Ink Forever is putting a funeral directors in position of having the liability under the state and criminal statute for exercising tissue from dead bodies. Yes, but they should be able to go to the Senate or the higher up courts and ask for this to be a legal thing. I mean, there should be a way for us to be able to take apart somebody's body legally if they ask for it, or if it is something that everybody's in wanting to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's gonna be really hard because even we're saying like it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Imagine the people that make the laws think, "Oh, that's weird. Yeah, we're not gonna allow that."
But if everybody agrees to it on both parties, then how could you not let that happen? So everybody
Hey, Slim, if everybody agrees on that, a woman that the best choice for a woman is an abortion. In some states, it's still not legal.
No, I know.
Fuck yeah.
America. But that's why we're trying to get further into this, and that's one reason why we're bringing this up, talking about it right now, is because I want all of you that have an association with me, that we have a deep connection or we feel like we're family together. If I pass before all of you, I want all of you to have a part of me. And I am hoping what I can do is give every single one of you a tattoo of me, or one of my tattoos.
Can I have your stapled dick?
Sure. But that's what I'm hoping is that you all get a piece of me, or there's a way to share me throughout history in museums, in other ways to share the history of Americana or things like that, you know, because now I've been in this for about 20 years and I actually do have a piece in the entertainment in the Americas. But anyways, so there are no federal or state laws that expressly permit a funeral director to slice off a piece of a person's skin and mail it to a company to have it preserved. However, more than half of the states have criminal statutes, generally known as the abuse of a corpse law. And that's where you cannot do things to somebody once they're dead. Once they die, you need to go through the certain processes of having them turned into a fucking zombie by having their veins pumped through with a bunch of bullshit. And it's a really horrible thing for the place they're put into to make it natural. Like, yes, you want your loved one to look like the way they did before they died, but once you put them in the ground and stuff starts seeping in, now you're contaminating the ground around that area. Now you have stuff that even if it is a cemetery, now you can't grow things on it, or there's nothing that can grow around it because there's contamination of these crazy chemicals, which to me is disrespect to the dead. But anyways, so according to Marsh, the criminal abuse of a corpse laws would have to be enforced by the county prosecutor, but a complaint would almost likely come from the family members if they were to complain to the state regulatory authority. A private claim for emotional harm caused by mainstreamment of human remains could also be brought to the family members to see if they were the tattoo removal, the mutilation, blah, 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 blah. So it's a bunch of legal jargon, even though, like, I mean, we have a little bit more, but we all see what's going on. And what I wanted to get through to this was just that we're going to be able to, in the future, hopefully, take things off of our loved ones and use them in repentance. Either taking their ashes and turning them into a butt plug and sticking them up your ass. That should be legal. If you want to wear your loved one's ashes on your arm, you should be able to. If you want to take your loved one's ashes and have them put into tattoo ink and you be tattooed by them, that is your decision. That is how it should be. It should not be, we're trying to desecrate a corpse by safely wanting to use their body parts for things. Like I literally should be able to have a loved one say, Slim gets my femur and he gets to make a flute out of it. Right?
Oh, that's
If
cool.
that's what the fucking person wants me to do, why should I not be able to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the next thingy-mabobber. What's the next subject?
Ear removal with 12%.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, so we'll get into ear removal.
I am very interested to see what this is about.
So it is not about full ear removal, but it is about people that are removing parts of their ears. The reason why your ears, just like a bat, are shaped in a certain way and they're kind of used in a certain way is for a certain reason. If your dumbass wants to crap, how do I put this? Modify the cavities that use certain ways of taking in information and you can't hear anymore, that's kind of your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to realize like why you're doing.
I see what
The
you're
thing
talking about.
is what it's gonna be is necessarily not being able to hear, but locating.
Directional kind of.
Yeah, directional hearing.
What? I can't hear you. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Sorry, it
No,
was right.
no, but
It
like
was.
that's
It was. Yeah, yeah, and
um,
that is part of what is going on here.
because if your even the outside of your ear changes, that changes how the sound comes into your ear.
Reverberates inside of your own
Yeah,
ear, and
but also like because your brain also the recognizes the timing difference between your left and right ear,
yeah,
and that also with that, and that's actually also the reason why a dog will tilt its head sometimes to listen to something, because they have just a two-dimensional location with the ears. So if they tilt their head, they can make it into 3D.
Yeah, totally.
So, but like, yeah, that's ears are weird.
And so ox, that's exactly what I was getting at when I was saying that reference was their peace pipes that were made out of leg bones in the natives of the Americas. Can you correct me if I'm wrong, but they were usually made out of prisoners of war or people that you took over in the battlefield? Or was it for people that have died that are loved ones in your thing? I think it is prisoners of war that was happened to, but please remind me if I'm off about this. So anyways, the thing we're talking about right now is, so what's up with these weird... Yeah, okay,
I'll be
so...
right back. Gotta swap over my laundry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
cool.
I'll still be able to hear.
Yeah, totally. So what is the conch removal? I'm not going to go through the top. So what is conch removal? It is a new body modification trend where people are getting the inside of their ears removed.
Inside? What?
So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into just showing you a photo of it. So what they're doing is they're actually cutting out the cartilage and a hole in the ear, and they're suturing it, and which is leaving a hole in the middle ear. I mean, I really don't have to go much more into that because all this tells you is that that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, but the problem is when sound is going in, it's bouncing off of these things going in, but it has a little hole in here. So I don't know.
I think in some cases you'll, as I said, will have to relearn your directional hearing.
Yeah. The directional sound or something like that. So that's very, very interesting because I've hole punched the bottom of my ears, but that's a little bit different because it's not in the middle and it's not in a place where sound reverberates around it. Like I have not had a difference in the sound that's coming in because of doing that. The thing that I did have a problem with is when I got my conches pierced when I was 18, which is the little flap on the outside of the ear, this part.
Mm.
When I was DJing, that would rattle and it would cause me to hear things a little bit differently in bass sounds. And I took them out and then I could hear that a little bit better. So I can't imagine what hole punching the inside of your ear would sound like if you're trying to hear things like tones and pitches in music. Okay, Ox. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It was like coyote bones or other bones they used the femurs of or whatever to make instruments. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I assumed human, but you're right. It was animal bones that they did all that stuff out of.
Yeah, because if they killed an animal, they would use all of it.
All of it, definitely, because that's definitely the Native American.
Well, I think most older civilizations did that. Used everything, because it was hard to get an animal, so better use all of it.
Well, and why not use all of it if it's going to be to your advantage anyways? So you might as well use all the sinew. You might as well use all the bones. You might as well use all the gelatin in the hooves or whatever to make everything. It was all put to use because it made sense to do that shit.
And you already killed it, so
it was only until the Europeans got over here that were like, everything's fun. We don't need to use everything. I only want to use these certain parts because they only make me certain things. And that was where the main problem of that began for like killing all the buffaloes. And that's why we don't have buffaloes here anymore. Or there's a small repopulation of them again in the Wyomings. So just 20 minutes, 30 minutes north of me is where there are bison again. They're not buffalo, they're bison. So it's a whole new thing being and the gray wolves, I think, are being repopulated in our area as well. So there's a bunch of things that they're putting back into the populations because they realize they need them. We need all these animals to do things. People shouldn't be killing them relentlessly or for no reason. And yeah. Okay, so what was the last subject?
The last one, that was, what was that again? Patchwork.
Patchwork? Yeah, okay. So
with 0%.
Yeah. But this is okay. We're gonna go over this first before, just because we had a 0%, and I'll go over the only reason why I'm not really that concerned about going over this yet is because the only reason we were going over this is because I have patchwork tattoos, and we were just going to go over what that exactly meant. But cheese and rice, we have to go over this first. We're definitely going over this first. Sure, I'll accept whatever. I don't fucking care. Okay, son of a beach. So everybody knows who Kanye West is, right?
Kinda.
He's a douche nozzle wannabe fucking musician who is working as a fashion designer for Adidas and these other companies. Well, he went very, very racist, and he was saying that the reason he wasn't getting contracts is because of the Jews. And he was blaming the Jews for a lot of things. So he got kicked. He lost all those sponsorships.
Good.
So because he has been a famous rapper for about 20 years, a lot of people got tattoos of him, right? Not knowing
Oh yes.
not knowing he was going to go down this path. So, London Tattoo Removal Studio offers to remove Kanye West tattoos for free.
Okay.
There.
So normally when you get a tattoo removal, it's about 2,000 euros.
Wow.
But because his widespread backlash over the few months of his offensive comments, which were anti-Semitic posts on Twitter leading to Adidas and a bunch of other people dropping him, he had a $2 million loss in one day because Adidas kicked him. Okay. That's how much money he was making in one day. $2 billion in one day. He lost that by dropping. So everybody who has a Kanye West tattoo, because he has gone so anti-Semitic and said that everybody was against him and the Jews are the reason why he's not a gazillionaire, blah, blah, blah. And he's so smart. And he actually called out Adidas and said that Adidas will not drop me. He literally went on TV and said Adidas will not drop me as a sponsor. I dare them to, is what he said. He got dropped by them. So now if you want your Kanye West tattoo removed, all you have to do is go to a tattoo removal studio in London and you can have them removed. So speaking of the next devil that we're getting into is what I want to do is I just want to go over what patchwork style tattoos are and why they're popular or why they used to be popular in the olden days. It's becoming a new trend currently, but it was a popular trend in the beginning stages of the how did I not put that in right? It's okay. Just give me a second to redo this. And it was a popular style of tattooing in the early 1800s. And then it became a more popular style recently. And of course, they went to Bing and they want me to Bing. I hate that. But it's okay. I got us to where we need to be.
You're going to Bing, you gotta go bang.
And I know this is for 2021 or whatever. But the reason we're showing this is because I want to show the style that I have on my body and the reason why I did it. This is 25 patchwork tattoos for everyone, blah, blah, blah. So what patchwork style means is open air in between tattoos. So see how there's these different one pieces that look like they're not all going together per se. So see how it's open skin in between the tattoos.
Okay.
So that's what patchwork style means. There are not connective things that make them all go together at once. So see how there's 3 tattoos, but they're not connected? That is called patchwork style. See how her tattoos do not connect, even though they're very close, and it looks like they might? That's called patchwork. Then what you can do as the next version of that is called quilt work. And quilt work is when you actually have them connect together. And what I want to do is I want to show you quilt, where see how my circuitry connects all of the patchwork together, right?
Oh yeah.
So now they're all connected together, and that's what quilt style is. But like this arm, sorry, I didn't mean to hit it. This arm is patchwork because none of them are connecting together. See how they're all spaced out in
what
between?
Would you call that that one blue puzzle piece looking guy that's like completely tatted over?
That would be quilt work
Okay.
technically, because he has, like I said, this all connects them together, right? So even though there's
Okay.
different patterns inside of it, it would be considered quilt work, because when you quilt, you stitch things together and make them one cohesive image through multiple images, right? So Enigma technically is a quilt work bodysuit, just like, God damn it, I can't think of his name on the top of my head, but I have to deal with him at like 3 or 4 of the conventions, and he has checkerboard tattooed all over his whole body.
Oh, okay, cool.
He is now a quilt work piece of our work because he's done that all together to where it meshes, and you actually have meshing eventually. Matt Gone is his name. So Matt Gone, Enigma are quilt work tattoos because it's multiple tattoos put together to make one cohesive tattoo through a theme is the version of that. And that's what I'm working on, is turning myself into Patchwork theme eventually with all of my stuff put together.
Oh, so I think I'm gonna regret this. So they were out of like the peanut butter whiskey I was gonna get. So I was like, and they're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I have to think of my feast." Pete, I'm like, just went with the bottle of Jack.
You know that if you would have gotten peanut butter whiskey and you would have taken grape soda and put it together, you would have had peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I do it with cranberry juice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's what I was hoping to do, but they were out of the peanut butter whiskey,
Yeah,
so now I just got Jack and Coke.
Oh, I believe that is Pip's drink of choice, isn't it?
Oh, is it really?
And Ox, of course I agree with you. You should never pick a design off the wall. I've never picked a design off the wall other than going to a Friday the 13th tattooing session and picking something off of a clip art that they had just for that day to do whatever. But the things that I have tattooed on me that were from that are never clip art. They're always a design that somebody drew, and like we made a specific version of that. But if you were on holiday in a new place with your friends and you want to get a tattoo to remember it, I'm not going to say no to going into a place and getting a flash design that's this big with you and your friends. If you've already been tattooed all over your whole body, or you have a couple tattoos, and you go and get a flash piece with your fucking homegirls or homies that's this big, go. I don't say don't. Just the only problem is you need to go to a fucking tattoo shop that you know is clean. They have a really good rating. Make sure talk to the tattoo artist for like 20 minutes before they tattoo you. Make sure you're comfortable with them, because a lot of fucking people that work on the strip or work on resort places or places that are for the tourists, they just want to get you in and out. And a lot of times they'll flirt with you, not right. They'll try to get you to tattoo right next to your vagina or your fucking butthole or something, just so they can see your genitalia. So make sure that you're getting into a place where you feel comfortable and you really like the person who's tattooing you. They actually show you where you're getting tattooed. You get the stencil put on you, and you look at that stencil being tattooed on you multiple times. One of the major things that I see about and hear about from people is they go to get a tattoo somewhere that they can't see. And when they leave, they already paid, they leave, and they go see that the fucking tattoo is like a monkey screwing a donkey or something, and you're like, wait, I wanted it to be a mermaid riding a sea turtle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to look at what you're getting. You need to look at the stencil. You need to make sure it's the right place. There's a lot of things that people don't realize when they're getting their stuffs done. And please don't go get drunk or be on drugs and go get modified. Make sure that you've spent 2-3 weeks doing it. Talk to a fucking body modifier for a while. Don't do impulse stuff. And I already know from first finger, first toe, first bad decision, doing that, getting fucked up and going and getting modified and not thinking about it first. And I have a bunch of fucked up modifications that I did on a whim, thinking it was going to be fun. I have a motherfucking two-titted camel tattooed on the side of my fucking foot.
Fair.
Just contemplate that. On the side of my foot, I literally have a two-titted fucking camel on my foot. I mean, you know, like don't get tattoos unless you fucking you want them. I think it's funny. Every morning I wake up and I look at my feet and I walk to the bathroom. I laugh because I have a fucking two-titted camel on my fucking foot. It has more meaning than just that we'll talk about in another session. But just looking at certain tattoos I have make me laugh like a motherfucker because of how stupid and silly they are. As long as you can have fun with what you got modified by, then go for it. But again, most people don't realize after you get modified, it's not going to be the way that you think. You literally in your brain think it's going to be this certain way. You get it modified and you're like, oh, this didn't look the way I thought it was going to look. This to other people did not mean what it's supposed to mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize what society is going to think of these modifications, not what your brain thinks. Your brain has a cohesive cognitive dissonance for why that happened, right? You're like, oh, I know why. This makes sense to my dumb ass. But you meet some grandma in fucking West Virginia, and she goes, I want to beat your ass, you know, like I want to hit you with my cane, you know, because you're offending me. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was going to be offensive. Or the other thing that people do really quick before we get to start wrapping this up is people get like nude symbols on their body or sexuality or to get things that are like, you know, are we doing a shot, Skits?
Two things. Forgot the first thing. Second thing is yes.
Okay,
We're doing
so
shot.
here's bro salute. We're gonna do that right quick. But my friends, they don't realize when they get a naked woman tattooed on their arm, they got 3 kids who are fucking under 12. How do you explain that to a fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, you need to wait, right? Or you have like a BDSM fucking sleeve of women beating each other, or some dude like whipping some woman who's like tied up in chains. And how do you explain that to kids if you have to do kid events? That doesn't. So that's why I made sure that I look like this for kids to be okay, to not scare, so to get those gigs. You know, you have to think about what you're putting on your body, when you are, where you are, how often they see it. Yes, I do have a gimp with a ball gag tattooed on the front of my right leg on the bottom. Does it look like that? No, it looks like a clown with a fucking clown nose. It does not look like a gimp. So when people see it, they're like, oh, that's cute. And you're like, honey, you don't even know what that fucking means. Like, that's actually because I'm the head of dungeons and shit, you know? Like, so anyways, cheers to bros, salute, all of the above. Here we go. Fucking bad vodka.
Oh, hey, Jack. Yeah, when I went to a piercer.
Pip will beat you for that.
I went to a piercer. To get a PA.
Yeah.
And the piercer was like, so are you doing this off of a dare? Or, you know, I'm like, no, I just wanted to do it. And she's like, yeah, apparently like 90% of the people who get their junk pierced, you know, are just going there because of you know, either they're drunk or it's off of a drunk dare.
Totally.
And I remember like shortly after I got it done, you know, I went home to the family, and of course, what the first thing my kid does is goes and jumps in my lap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And I had to explain to him, take it easy, bud.
Yeah.
That had a little operation.
yeah, totally. So once again, you know, make sure that you know what you're getting done before you get it done, and go talk to the person and make sure you're comfortable with the person before you get the modification done. We're talking about bottom, top surgery. We're talking about tattoos. We're talking about piercings. We're talking about sounding, things like that. Definitely make sure that you are comfortable with the person who's going to be shoving things inside your body before you get it done.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm glad that we own. Well, I really wanted to have a couple females on the panel where we talked about the birth giving tattoos because I wanted some of them to be here. I don't know why Queen isn't here, and or some of the other people, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. But thank you all for being here. We're going to go ahead and end it right now. And then we're going to go ahead into the VC in Queen's Discord, even though it got demolished yesterday and she's had to rebuild it. But we'll go over there and we'll go watch some things and go have some fun stuff. Unfortunately, but fortunately, we're going to have to maybe go over some of the stuff about Daryl Brooks and what happened today with him doing his closing. Just to go over a little bit of it, we probably will. And in the near future, the Queen is going to go over a deep dive into him. And we have a couple other deep dives we're going to get into, which is some of the new cultists that have been popping up that I have found, kind of like what we went over yesterday and all the weird rapture and the stuff and the things which they said, which we already kind of figured out, we're almost past those times, so none of that happened. So what the fuck how do you people keep thinking you're prophets if your punk asses are never fucking coming up with anything? Yes, and definitely tonight was Tuesday Sausage Fest for sure.
Yeah, it was fun hanging with my buddies.
With the homies.
It was
buddy, singular. I see how it is.
Buddies.
Okay.
Well, my buddy and an asshole, but
and one asshole.
Okay,
you
so
guys figure out who's who.
Who's who? Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let me see really quick. I just want to double check. Yeah, that was all the tattoo body modification thingy-mabobbers I wanted to go over for today. I have a bunch of other crazy shit we're gonna go over in the near future, like what a blue waffle is. And if you don't want to know what that is until we talk about it, please don't look it up. But if you're a Pip, please look it up. And then let me know what you saw.
I believe we already had her do that.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. That's what we try to do with Pip. Is have her look up this stuff. So we'll be going over that soon. Tomorrow is going to be the drunk newscast, and we're going to be going over current news events that are very silly and stupid, just like we always do. Kind of like today. Just today was a tattooed and body modification theme. And Queen was supposed to be here to put in her 2 cents about that, but she got busy with the family. So we'll see you all tomorrow for that thingy-mabobber. And in the next 15-20 minutes, we'll be in the Dissim Accords VC going over something, I don't know, or watching something, or palate cleansing with something cute and silly. We'll see. So thank you all very much for being here. We'll see you all next time, and you all rock, and thanks for the thumbs ups. And if you see us in the future, comment down below about how stupid or silly we are, because the more that you interact with us in the YouTubes, the more that we get, and the more times you share this and get people to subscribe, the closer we get to the 666 subscriber mark. And when we do that, we're doing a whole thing on the Satanic Panic, the 1980s version and the current version of the Satanic Panic, which is still going on right now with the Republican Party. And we still have things coming up. Today, we just had Trump tweet about how they're Satanists eating babies' faces and blah, blah. Yeah, he just posted another QAnon thing. So welcome all you men, and let us know if you want to find us in the Dissim Accords, and you can come hang out with us in the Dissim Accords. I obviously need more alcohol because I'm obviously burping because of alcohol, which the only cure for that is more alcohol, right? Anyways, thank you all very much. We'll see you all over there or tomorrow in the stream of Mabobbers for Drunk Newscast. And I have a bunch of fucking hilarious news subjects to go over. we're probably going to go over a couple more than normal because how long it's been since I've done one of those. So it'll probably be 6 and not just 4 news reports we're going to go over and have fun with. So thank you very much. Everybody say bye, and we're getting the fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.